for that wonderful introduction. Thank you all for coming onto the call. This is one of our calls that we do during the week. Today's call is basically a call that we invite our prospects, our prospective customers. So whether they're affiliates or customers, we invite them to this call so that they can come and hear about two things. One, the product itself, the attributes of the product, what it can do for them or for their machinery, for their equipment, for their vehicles. And number two, the business opportunity that this product affords us. So I want to say thank you to the leadership team that's on this call, Madam Sue, George, Daniel, and the rest of the people, really, David, Peter, Caroline, Madrine, Tina, Douglas, and there's somebody who's called themselves Kenya. We thank God for that. That person is representing the entire country. We want the entire country to be on fire for Fuel Factor X. So thank you guys for joining the call. Let's make it a habit. Let's make it a target to invite people that we are talking to become partners in the business, whether as affiliates or as customers. The Tuesday call, the Thursday call as well. Those 2 days really are designed for those who need to hear more about the product. You have introduced it to them. You have asked them to come and listen to an opportunity that may interest them. And this is why this call is here. So I'm hoping that next week we will be able to invite more people. We are trusting God that this call will actually grow. We will have numbers as the days go by. So without saying too much, let me just share my screen and take us through the product. So our product is called Fuel Factor X. Please confirm that you can see the screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, very well. Let me just put it on full screen mode. So we are a blessed people in these times, and because we have an opportunity to address one of the biggest challenges in our society today, and that is the high cost of living. I think all the nations represented here today, Kenya, Uganda, Malawi, South Africa, Nigeria, wherever each one of us is from, we are grappling with the issue of a high cost of living. And the biggest factor in high cost of living is really the cost of fuel. The cost of fuel affects the cost of food, the cost of transportation, the cost of clothing. It's all factored in there somewhere. And we have an opportunity to be part of the solution rather than the problem, to be part of the solution to reducing the high cost of living, reducing the cost of commodities and goods within our societies by introducing this product, Fuel Factor X or FFX, to those around us. Fuel Factor X is an American product. It has been in use for more than 30 years, believe it or not, but it has just come into this market, officially in the last year or so. I know in Nigeria, it's been there a little bit longer, but in the rest of the markets, particularly in Kenya, officially, it's just about a year or so when all the processes, legal processes, regulatory processes were completed, and now we have this product at our disposal. Now, this product is what we call an advanced fuel treatment. Now, when we say advanced fuel treatment, we mean it's not just another fuel treatment. It's not just a fuel additive. It has, special abilities or capabilities that make it an advanced fuel treatment. Just to, quickly mention its main benefits. Number one, FFX or Fuel Factor X, it reduces emissions into the environment. So harmful carbon emissions and pollutants that come as a result of burning of fuel oils, fuels, carbon-based fuels, the emissions are reduced when you use fuel factor X. Number two, it improves fuel economy. So whether it's your vehicle, whether it's a car, a small car, a big car, an SUV, a truck, whether it's your agricultural equipment, whether it's your generators at your workplace or in your business, fuel factor X provides better fuel economy than using normal fuel. It enhances performance of the vehicles and the machinery. This is something that we have seen from the word go when drivers use their fuel factor X in their vehicles. One of the first things they immediately notice is an improved performance from the vehicle, meaning that the vehicle has more power, more horsepower as it's being used. And also because of the functions of fuel factor X, it prolongs engine life. So as we go through fuel factor X, today I want us also to look at some of the most common questions that customers ask about the product and its effects in our vehicles and equipment. Now, fuel factor X is what we call an all-in-one solution. Now, when I say it's an all-in-one solution, what do I mean? Now, there are various solutions in the market. Now, and the various solutions in terms of fuel additives provide different capabilities, different benefits to the users of vehicles and equipment that use carbon-based fuels. But fuel factor X brings all these benefits, all these benefits into one solution. That's why we call it an all-in-one solution. And because it's an all-in-one solution, we call it a comprehensive fuel treatment. Now, when we say comprehensive, we shall see what that means. Comprehensive simply means it covers all the aspects of fuel treatment. So we shall look at the ingredients of fuel factor X shortly, and this is what tells us that it's a comprehensive fuel treatment. So on this slide, we're just emphasizing the benefits of fuel factor X. It prolongs engine life and reduces wear. It means that if your vehicle was going to last for about 10 years normally, under normal use with normal fuel factor X will enable the engine of that vehicle to last much longer than the expected time period. Secondly, increases fuel economy. We've mentioned about that. It means that you will get more kilometers per liter or more miles per gallon, depending on where you live and what units you use to measure. It will increase fuel economy for you. Thirdly, it reduces harmful emissions and pollutants. We've mentioned that as well. So that means we are participating. We are participating in preserving the planet Earth. We are not just using products that are harming the planet. We are part of the solution in preserving the planet, and it improves vehicle performance and horsepower. This is something that every driver who has used fuel factor X immediately begins to experience as they use the vehicle. And we'll see the reason why. Now, who can use fuel factor X? There's a wide range of users that we can target as far as this product is concerned, whether it's in cars, motorbikes, boats, trucks, generators, heavy equipment such as farming equipment, construction equipment, mining equipment, port equipment, the cranes and all these crazy machineries, those huge things that are used to move containers and stuff like that. All these are candidates for fuel factor X. And what fuel factor X will do for them is something that we have already defined: improves fuel economy, maintains maintains the engine by prolonging its life, and the rest of them. So any equipment, be it a vehicle, farm equipment, mining equipment that uses a carbon-based fuel is a candidate for fuel factor X. So any equipment and vehicle that uses petrol, diesel, kerosene, or gas is a candidate for fuel factor X. Now, what makes this product different from other products in the market? Now, we've mentioned that fuel factor X is a comprehensive fuel treatment. It means that it carries much more than 99% of other treatments in the market. Now, our screen there shows insert. We have a picture there of a collection of bottles that actually were put together by engineers or the research and development team that were comparing what would you have to buy in a shop, those shops that sell, products to be used in vehicles, oils and coolants and things like that. Now, when you go into those shops and buy fuel treatment or fuel additives, you'll have to buy an entire collection of bottles of product to give you the same value as fuel factor X. Now you can see from the picture there that you've got a number of bottles. And when this test was done, when this experiment was done, they spent about $70, $70 just to buy this product that would give the same value as that one sachet of fuel factor X. Now, sounds unbelievable, sounds, quite incredible, but that is the truth. Now, in fact, it's been reported that what was $70 then could be about $90 now because of inflation and other factors. So what makes our product special or different is that it's a super concentrated product. When you use 10 mils or 10 milliliters of fuel factor X in your fuel, you're getting a very concentrated product that is able to treat up to 80 liters of fuel. So this is what makes it a special product. It's super concentrated, and it doesn't come with so much volume, to receive the same value as so many products that are out there. Now, again, just extending into what is contained in fuel factor X. What does it have that makes it such a super product? Now, the main ingredient in fuel factor X is what we call organometallic compounds. Now, that sounds like a lot of technical terminology, very, very powerful, difficult words. But the organometallic compounds is basically the ingredient that enables the fuel to burn at a lower temperature. Now, somebody asked me, if it's burning at a lower temperature, doesn't that mean that more fuel will burn, in a unit of time? Actually, no. By burning at a lower temperature, it means that the fuel ignites earlier than normal fuel. When it ignites earlier, it means more fuel is burned per unit. What normally happens without fuel factor is that when the fuel is burning, when it ignites at a higher temperature, much of the fuel is wasted and goes out through the exhaust into the atmosphere or collects within the engine as carbon deposits. Now, what the organometallic compound does, it prevents that from happening by ensuring that there is a much higher rate of combustion of the fuel. I'm simply saying that the fuel burns more completely as opposed to normal fuel. So that's one of the ingredients of fuel factor X. This particular ingredient, the inventors or the people who came up with this ingredient, the two scientists actually won a Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1973. And that simply means that we are dealing with the best of the best. This is testimony of the science behind the product. The second ingredient I'm going to talk about is lubricants. So fuel factor S contains lubricants that reduce friction within the fuel system of the engine. So the moving parts that grind against each other get extra lubrication through fuel factor X, and therefore there's less wear and tear use of the vehicle or the equipment. It also contains detergents. That's the third ingredient in fuel factor X. Now, what's the work of detergents? They clean up the engine parts that, the fuel system of the engine. Now, this is very important because the carbon deposits that collect over time in the engine of the vehicle or the machinery cause the engine to perform less effectively. So by cleaning out all the carbon, all the rust, and any other impurities or solid particles that may be within the fuel system of the engine, it makes your engine more efficient in its functions. Fourthly, we have polymerization retardants. Now, this simply means that fuel factor X has an ingredient that prevents solids or reduces solids from forming within the fuel itself. And that way, keeping the engine clean and prolonging the life of the engine. We also have rust and corrosion inhibitors. So basically, these play two functions. Number one, they remove any rust that has formed within the fuel system. And secondly, they prevent rust from forming further in the fuel system of the vehicle. That way, it keeps the engine running smoothly and efficiently. We have demulsifiers as the sixth ingredient in fuel factor X. Now, we know that water in a fuel system of a vehicle is not a good thing to have. It can cause the vehicle to grind to a halt and an overhaul of the fuel system or the engine itself. So demulsifiers separate any water or moisture that has formed within the fuel system from getting into the fuel system. Now, how does moisture or how does water get in? Due to condensation in the environment, the heating and the cooling of the engine and the vehicle can cause condensation within the fuel system, and moisture can eventually form water droplets within the fuel. So fuel factor X helps to separate those water droplets or the moisture from getting into the engine of the vehicle. That's a work of demulsifiers. And finally, number 7, another ingredient is a fuel stabilizer. Now, fuel stabilizers are important because fuel has a shelf life. And once fuel is exposed to air and oxidation begins to happen, it begins to form certain, it begins to destabilize. Number one, what happens is it could begin to separate into its components, and usually it forms two layers of two layers within the fuel. A very light layer, very watery layer at the top, and a very thick jelly-like layer at the bottom. That is the destabilization or the separation of the fuel. Now, this happens if you've stored fuel for 3 or more months, and especially if it's in a humid or a hot environment, this could happen even earlier than that. Now, fuel factor X enables the fuel to remain in its original state for much longer than that, up to even 5 years or more. Now, in what scenario would you want to store fuel for a long period of time? If you're in an environment where you're using a generator, for example, but you have relatively stable electricity, that means your generator is used, from time to time, after a long period of time. Now, that fuel in the generator could separate into its layers, and therefore, when you need the generator to work, it may not kick off immediately. You may have to struggle to switch on the generator. That is one scenario. In some instances, a customer or a user may need to store fuel in containers for a particular reason, maybe for their farm equipment. So those scenarios are what may need to extend the shelf life of fuel. So fuel factor X plays that role because it has fuel stabilizer within its ingredients. Now, having talked about what it is, its benefits, its ingredients, I think most people agree with me that this is a product to introduce or to have or to use within the environment. Now, on my screen there, we have what we call a 7-tank challenge. It says, take the 7-tank challenge. Now, what is a 7-tank challenge? Now, this was a collection of results that were taken by FFX engineers and R&D team over a period of time, over a number of vehicles, and they wanted to know what is the experience of drivers or users of the product when they use it for the first time. Now, it's called the 7-tank challenge because the users, the drivers and the users of the equipment or of FFX had to use it 7 times so that good information, good data is collected to inform the engineers or the team on the results of using fuel factor X. Now, on the screen there, you can see 4 lines. It's basically a graph. The graph represents each category of results. So when the results were collected, they were categorized and similar results were put together and they ended up with 4 categories of results. Now, why do we need to know this? Is because as users of the product and also as dealers or distributors of the product, we need to inform our customers and our clients what to expect as they use the product. So I'll not go into too much detail, but I will explain what each line represents. Now, the graph is at the corner there. Each line is basically a different category of results. So we'll start with the blue line. The blue line represents customers who used fuel factor X, and right from the start, they began to see fuel economy. What we are measuring here is fuel economy against the number of uses, fuel factor X, up to 7. So if you're a mathematician like me, I love maths. So this is something that I like to look at, but just go with me and follow me and see what this means. So the blue line is the category of customers who use fuel factor X, and right from the word go, right from the start, right from the first usage, they began to see an increase in fuel economy. And that is why the blue line goes up immediately, right from the beginning. And it continues to increase. The fuel economy continues to go up on the second use, the third use, the fourth use, and it reaches a point where now it levels off, meaning this vehicle has reached its optimal as far as fuel economy is concerned. Now, this is the ideal. Everybody wants this scenario. Everybody who is a driver or an operator of equipment wants this kind of scenario. Now, what we need to do is to be realistic. It will not happen to everybody. It will happen to about 38% of the cases. So some people will experience a slightly different result. Now, the gold line, before I go to the gold line, let me go to the green line. The green line is the second category of results. Now, when the users of fuel factor X, whether be they drivers or equipment users, when they began to use fuel factor X, they did not see any improvement in fuel economy. That is why the line is going on straight at the bottom. But after 2 to 3 uses, the line begins to go up. It means now they begin to see fuel economy. They begin to save on their fuel. When I say fuel economy, I mean saving on fuel. So for the first 2 to 3 uses, there is no change in the saving of fuel, but eventually it begins to rise. This is the second category of results. Then I go to the pink line. The pink line is something that some of us in our team have actually experienced. Now, from the word go, the customer experienced a drop in saving of fuel. What does that mean? It means actually they ended up using more fuel for the first 2 uses of FFX. Now, when does that happen? Some vehicles, especially very modern vehicles that are computerized and where everything is recorded or monitored by a computer, and they have been configured to work in a particular way, for the computer to learn that this is now a different kind of fuel or a different kind of experience in this vehicle, they may take time to adjust and register the better flow of fuel. So the pink line shows a drop in fuel economy or in saving of fuel, but eventually it goes flat again and then begins to rise. That is a third scenario. The fourth scenario is a gold line. The user begins to see a saving in their fuel right from the start. It goes up for maybe 1 or 2 uses of fuel factor X, and then it drops down to a certain level, doesn't go down all the way to the bottom. It goes down to a certain level and then begins to pick up once again. Now, these are cars or vehicles that have, quite a bit of carbon buildup in the engine. And it took time for that carbon buildup to soften up and get out of the vehicle. So the driver experienced a saving because the fuel was treated and the vehicle recognized the improved fuel right from the beginning. Meanwhile, in the background, the carbon deposits, the carbon buildup is softening up. And then once it begins to come out, the trade-off, the FFX that's being used to bring out the impurities and the carbon and all that now begins to take effect. So there'll be a slight drop in saving of fuel, and then it begins to rise up. Now, it sounds a bit complicated. It sounds a bit, too much to learn. What is the take home here? What you need to understand is that eventually all the 4 scenarios, as you can see on the slide, all the 4 scenarios, all the kind of results that are experienced by drivers eventually end up at the same point. They all end up at a point where they are now saving fuel, more than before. They are beginning to realize the benefits of fuel economy. Now, this is important because when we approach prospects or when we talk to customers about the usage of this particular product, we need to inform them that this is a journey. It may not happen on the first use, or maybe not even on the second use, but eventually it will get there. And I was very encouraged recently by some of our team members who are actually explaining this so well to some of their customers, and the customers are like, okay, it makes sense, And this is because vehicles are different ages, different conditions of engines. Driver behavior also affects how a vehicle is running. So there are factors that are beyond FFX, but eventually the fuel economy is realized. So I wanted to just quickly go through this as well. Some of the questions that a lot of people will ask. I'm not going to read the text on the slides. I'm just going to, give very short answers to each of the questions. I think we have 8 questions, and I can finish them within probably 2 minutes. So one of the most common questions is, does FFX affect warranties? Now, FFX does not change the composition of fuel. It doesn't change what has been approved by the organizations that approve vehicles and fuel and all that. So FFX will not affect the warranty of any vehicle. This is important especially for those who are buying brand new cars, 0 mileage cars, and they are working with the dealer, and maybe there's an agreement to service the vehicle over a period of time or for a particular distance of kilometers. So FFX does not affect the warranties of vehicles. Are there any special instructions for use of FFX? Yes, and this is something that we all need to understand. For the first 2 to 3 uses of FFX, we need to double dose. Now, what is double dosing? Double dosing simply means you use double the quantity that you would normally use. So, for example, 1 sachet of FFX, which is 10 ml, can treat up to 80 liters of fuel. Now, for double dose, it simply means that 1 sachet will be used for 40 liters of fuel for the first 2 to 3 uses of FFX. And that is because FFX is doing 2 things. Number 1, treating the fuel, and number 2, cleaning up the engine. After 2 to 3 uses, and sometimes even 4, depending on the results, the kind of results you get, after those 2 to 3 uses of double dose, the user now reverts back to single dose. So instead of using 10 ml for 40 liters, they will use 10 ml for 80 liters. So the third question is, how can I reduce my emissions with FFX? So basically, we talked about this earlier, the organometallic compounds, they enable the fuel to burn better. There's what is called a higher combustion rate, and therefore emissions are reduced with FFX. Treatment ratios, we have mentioned that even during this particular call. Here it says 1 to 5,000 to 1 to 10,000, depending on what kind of fuel you're using. And that's what it translates to. 10 ml for 80 liters is the recommended ratio, and double dose for the after the first few uses. Does FFX help with lubrication? Yes, it does. FFX adds lubrication into the fuel system of the vehicle so that the grinding parts, the moving parts do not corrode over time. How can I be assured that the use of FFX will not cause my engine to malfunction? For the length of the life of FFX, for as long as we have used FFX in this market, in other markets, the US, Canada, Europe, some parts of Asia, and Africa, we have never had a case of malfunction due to FFX. And number two, the distributorship company, the company that has the sole distributorship of FFX, My Daily Choice, has actually gone a step ahead to take up a multi-million insurance cover on behalf of customers in the event something happens. But we can be sure after 30 years of use of the product, no cases, so the cases will not start now. What impact will the use of FFX have on maintenance? Your maintenance costs will reduce over time, and therefore you're saving money once again in a different way. What if people don't see any improvement right away? Now, this again goes back to the 7-tank challenge. It's important for customers to understand the various scenarios or the various results that they may encounter with FFX. So some will experience immediate fuel economy. Others may take 2 to 3 to 4 uses of FFX. Having said that, I think that's the end of my presentation. I trust that we have gotten the information that we need. This particular presentation is actually available to everybody on the call. If you don't have it, let us know, and we can always send you this document for your own use, for your own study. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Tim, for your time. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Mathias. Wow, that was a very comprehensive, well elaborate product presentation. I'm very much for each and every one of us in this call has understood each and every detail about fuel factor X. Any questions? We have Wednesday calls. That's where we have a Q&A. You can ask questions. And if you have a testimony, that is tomorrow, same time. Now, without further ado, I want to welcome our great leader, George. This is the money part. I'm very much, as much as we want to help people save money on their fuel, we really want to make money as well. We want money in our pockets. So, Mr. George, our great leader, let me welcome you to take the platform. Show us the money. Mr. George, please. The platform is yours. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Daniel. I really appreciate your leadership. Thank you so much, my partner, Mathias. It's always a delight to listen to you presenting. I mean, I feel like I could join the business again and again. It's really awesome. Thank you also, my leader, Sue. Happy to see you on the call tonight. Thank you so much. Yes, it's very rare that you get an opportunity that that gives you such a wonderful product, and at the same time, also gives you a wonderful compensation plan. I believe My Daily Choice is one such unique company, because besides the product that Mathias has mentioned, that is Fuel Factor X, we have a very, very powerful compensation plan that rewards people very well, like I'm going to demonstrate in a short while, so that I mean, it's really not a common thing to see. Allow me to share my screen so that I can take you through that presentation. I hope my screen is seen by all.
Yes, yes.
Are we there? Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we
Wonderful.
can.
Thank you so much. So the fuel factor X compensation plan, or rather my daily choice compensation plan, is a very robust compensation plan. What we have done is that we have tried to simplify it, because we know there are people who are coming onto the call who need to understand, to be able to see this compensation plan and understand it easily. So we have made it very, very easy, and I hope everybody will be able to follow as I present. So basically, in my daily choice, there are two ways that somebody can join. The first way, you join as a customer. When you join as a customer, you're joining, you have no intention of building a network. You just want to come and save money. You want to buy the product at a wholesale price and be able to benefit more on your savings. So the customer is a person who comes on board, but their intention is just to access the product at a wholesale price and thereby increasing on their savings. The second way that you join FFX is as an affiliate. When you join as an affiliate, we say that you are here because you also want to make money. So you are sharing the good news of how people can save money on fuel, but in the process, you make money for yourself. And as I'm saying here, an affiliate has the opportunity to make a serious income through the lucrative compensation plan, as I'm going to show you in a short while. So those are the two basic ways that you join FFX, either as a customer or as an affiliate. So we have a number of registration packages available, but I want to talk about two. These two are the ones I consider most attractive, and many of the people that we talk to prefer to go in using these two ways. The first one is what we call a builder package. This is a good way to join the business. For those in Kenya, it will cost you about 11,200 shillings. In other countries, maybe we can work with $80 plus tax. When you join with this package, you get 16 sachets of FFX. So you are able to obtain 16 sachets when you join with a builder package. The other package that we recommend, which is actually the best way to join, is as an executive. You buy the executive package. This will set you back 22,500 Kenya shillings, or if you like, it's about $180 plus tax. And for this, you'll be given 36 sachets of FFX. So you choose the package that is convenient to you, though we recommend that everybody who can comes in as an executive. Reason being, when you join as an executive, you are not leaving any money on the table. You are able to maximize on the compensation plan and be able to make the best out of it. So when you are in the business, then you have access to 9 different ways that you can be able to make money. The first way that you make money is retail profit. By retail profit, what I mean is that you're buying at wholesale and you're selling the product in retail. When you do this, when you purchase the package that I have said is the best way to join, that is by buying the package that goes locally for 22,500 Kenya shillings, or if you like, about $180 plus tax, then that sachet, each sachet will have cost you 625 Kenya shillings. Here in Kenya, we recommend that a sachet is sold for about 1,000 shillings. There are people I know who are even selling for 1,200. But if you sell at 1,000 shillings, it means you're making a profit of 375 for every sachet, which translates to 60% profit. Now, friends, in many companies that I know, you don't make this kind of a retail profit. many of them will allow you to make about 20% or 30% because the prices of their products are already too high. But because ours is reasonably priced, you're able to make up to 60% on retail profit alone. So the second way that you make money in FFX is what we call jumpstart bonus. Jumpstart bonus refers to the bonus that you get whenever you refer an affiliate. If you bring in somebody who wants to build the business like you, the company pays you a jumpstart bonus, which is equal to $36, roughly 4,300 Kenya shillings. This amount, you will earn it once. So from that affiliate, you cannot earn jumpstart bonus again. You only earn it once. The third way that you earn in FFX is what we call a customer acquisition bonus. Customer acquisition bonus is where you have referred a customer as opposed to an affiliate. So when you introduce a person who says, I don't want to build, I just want to come in and enjoy the product at a cheap price, then the company will pay you $36, the same as the person who brings in an affiliate. Only difference is that the money that you earn from a customer is a continuous income. Whenever the customer goes back and buys more products, you are able to get again that bonus from him continuously. The affiliate, you don't earn continuously, you only earn it once, but when you bring a customer, you earn every time they go back and buy. Now, the fourth way that you earn is something we call global leadership bonus. Now, this is an interesting bonus. Why I say this is because I have done a number of opportunities in the past, and I've seen that this bonus is normally reserved for the people at the top. With My Daily Choice or with FFX, this is a different ballgame. What the company says is that anybody can get this bonus, even the newbies, the ones who have joined today. So what is the requirement? The company says every 4 people that you sign up in a calendar month, every 4 people that join you any given month, the company will allocate you 1 share. And 1 share will earn you an average of $50. In the Kenyan case, we are saying about 6,000 shillings. So every 4 people that you bring in Kenya, you're earning about 6,000 Kenya shillings. And here the thing is that you can introduce as many people as you can. I was looking at the leaderboard a little bit earlier, and I saw that already, today being the 6th day of February, there is somebody who has brought 103 people into My Daily Choice. It means that this guy already has 25 shares, because you divide by 4 to get 25 shares. If he has earned 25 shares, you can calculate and see the kind of money that this guy is likely to make by the end of the month of February. What I'm trying to say here is this, that you have a blank check before you. You decide what you want to earn. You can work like this guy, bring in many people, and at the end of the month, you are paid for all those shares that you're going to have earned. Or you can come in and just laze about and end up with a small check. The choice is yours. The 5th bonus that you earn is what we call rank advancement bonus. Rank advancement bonus is paid to you when you are able to build a business under yourself. So the company says when you have accumulated a combined business volume of about 1,000 BV in a month, you are a 1K affiliate. And the company will then pay you $100 once. There are 9 other ranks that you can also be able to climb up to. Because after 1K, we have 5K, we have 10K, we have 25K. And every time you hit those levels, the income increases up to 500,000 for the highest level that you can be able to attain in this business. So again, here, it depends on how you come in and how you work. You are able to get to all those levels and make crazy income. The other bonuses, of course, that you are able to earn, remember I said that we have at least 9 of them. There is what we call binary. Binary is another very exciting bonus that you are able to earn when you build a left and a right team. We have what we call check matching bonus. This is an exciting bonus, whereby when you bring people and you nurture these people, they become leaders under you and they start earning some reasonable amount of money. The company will pay you a percentage of what they earn in their binary. This is also very, very exciting. Another one is the recurrent customer bonus. This is when your customer comes back again and again to buy the products of FFX. So those are some of the ways that you are able to earn in this business. Now, I want to conclude by saying that everywhere you go in Africa today, you will find people lamenting about the high cost of fuel. What it means here is that there is a big market for our product, the way Mathias has spoken about it. Now, all you need to do is to tap into that. Somebody said that if you can find a solution for a problem that is confronting the society, then you stand a big chance of becoming wealthy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a solution for that problem that everybody in Africa is crying about, the problem of high cost of fuel. Let's tap into it. Let's be able to share this solution with them, and let us get our people to celebrate as they enjoy reduced expenditure on fuel. And in the process, who knows how much we can make. Please join me and other pioneers as we spread the message of FX throughout Africa. This business for the time being is available in Africa only in 2 countries, that is Nigeria and Kenya. We have an opportunity that we can spread this business all over Africa. And as we do so, we turn fortunes around. So please revert back to the person who invited you to this Zoom and start the business today if you can. Thank you so much for listening to me. Over back to Daniel, maybe for the closing remarks. Thank you so much, everybody.
Wow, wow, wow. Hey, a loud hand of applause to Mr. George. That's a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much for telling us about money. Majority of us are very hungry to make sure that we succeed financially and get what we call financial freedom. And I believe this is the vehicle to take us there, for real. Luckily is that we are all pioneers here. You can see even the number says it all. We're just beginning. We have not even scratched the ground. If you have ever dreamt of being a millionaire in dollars, not in shillings, in dollars, this is the time. Okay? We believe if you want to be a billionaire, put God first and then put work. You must work hard for it. Nothing good in life comes easy. The good thing is that we have the best product in the market. It was comprehensively and well explained by our great leader, Mathias. I'm very much sure most people in this call understood about the product. Now you need to take time to learn about the product, be a master of the product, because basically you have to master the product before you go and explain it to the other people. Then what will follow is money in our pockets. Make sure you share this opportunity with as many people as possible. You have just been told by our leader George that his great opportunity is only in 2 countries. It's in Nigeria and Kenya. Okay, we are spreading to the other parts of Africa. We want to be in Tanzania, we want to be in Uganda, we want to be in Burundi, Rwanda, each other part of Africa, we want to command presence. Okay, we are the pioneers. We are the people who are going to take this product there. We are the people who are going to share this information to those remaining countries. Because even them, they are sharing the same crisis that we are going through, the fuel crisis. Everybody in Africa is complaining about fuel and the fuel prices. We have a solution. Let's go in for it and let's make it happen. Also, let me not forget our great leader, Sue. I want to invite her to give us the closing remarks as we end our today's meeting. Leader Sue, please, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. I believe it's evening everywhere that you are today. I just want to welcome everyone to the call. I see you all. I'm so excited. Rose, Madrine, good to see you. Ken and Mary, wonderful. Charles, all the way from Ghana. so happy to see you. I know you're probably still in the office. Beatrice, Mombasa, we are so happy. Thank you, Matt. Kenya, good to see you. Tina, all the way from Uganda. Caroline, George, we want what's in your cup. Matt, good to see you. Grateful to see you there. And my brother David, all the way from Malawi, always on the calls. I'm so happy to see you all today. I think for me, this thing about being consistent, being on the calls, it's so powerful. Kenya said today, Kenya, we hope next time we'll see your face. Kenya said, that they learned so much today, and especially the part where Matt was talking about that chart, because when you understand that, you're able to manage your clients' expectations, and then they will just go through the process and understand that the more they use the product, the better it is for them, and so you won't have that issue arising at all. And then it takes you, so you understand the product even better, and then you understand just how powerful it is. I'm telling you guys, there's so much excitement. I think Leader George also said it very well, that Africa is open for business. So wherever you are, I know David in Malawi is just thinking, and that's why he's on the call. He's seen the opportunity. He's here from the start to the end. Today the numbers they've stayed consistent. I see Ken and others came even, later on. So we are getting it. And I'm telling you, we are going somewhere. 2024 is going to be a year like no other. But you've got to be consistent. You've got to keep coming to these Zoom calls. Just stay with us. There's so much exciting stuff going on right now. We can't even put it on one call or two, but just stay tuned. That's all I can tell you. Stay tuned. Watch this space. People are going, we are going somewhere. Yes, Ken. We have these calls. We'll have the next one. I'm glad you invited. Carol, good job. Let's invite. Tomorrow we have our family call where we share a lot of things. But on Thursday, Ken, make sure you get the link to the call on Thursday. We will have another product presentation so that you can understand fully, okay? So just excited to have you all here. Abel, you're welcome to the call. Never too late. We will do this on Thursday again. Tina, thank you so much. We are so excited to have you here from wherever you are in Africa. Let's get more people onto these calls. I'm so excited to be with you today. I can see where this is going. The future is very, very bright. So thank you all. And I think now you can unmute yourselves and say good evening and good night. Matt has shared that this call will be available. So watch out for it. Stay tuned, stay connected, and stay plugged in. Have a blessed night all. Unmute yourselves and say good night.
Good night.
Good night all. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.